Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. We're talking about concealed carry, all the different aspects and things you need to think about when it comes to concealed carry. Now, this is going to be about skills and your skill level. When you, I've talked about having the firearm hammerless 38, and that is because it takes little skills to make it work. It's not going to go off accidentally. It can be in your purse. It can be in your coat pocket. You don't draw it. You just put your hands on it and aim it towards your threat, and be prepared to pull the trigger. I mean, that's pretty simple. Yeah, there's not much tactics. There's not much skills. What you're doing is you're protecting yourself, and that's basic. And that's why I suggest people have that type of a firearm. And then now, as your skill level improves, and when I talk about skill level, I'm talking about as you go out and you practice. Just say you take your 38 and you don't do much practice with it, but it's shooting out of your pocket. You probably go out and shoot maybe a couple dozen rounds through it, just so then you know it's not going to kick and stuff like that. And somebody's there with another firearm. You might try their firearm, ask them if you can borrow their firearm, and try it. And so as you get used to it, your skill levels, you're more, after you get more used to shooting, then you can pick up this other gun, and that's maybe a semi-automatic or something, and you start, hey, you know, this is not too bad. And so your skills level starts improving on different firearms. Then you will try something different. And you notice the other firearm I talked about was an AK-47 for the two basic weapons. And the reason is the AK is very basic and very simple to use. And when you really are scared, you're going to be really happy you have an AK-47. So, but anyway, and it doesn't take a whole lot of skills. Either the 38 hammerless or the AK-47. It doesn't take a lot of skills. And especially the more scared you are, the more these weapons will work, and it does the job. But the thing is, even with the AK, as you use it, you will get better. And it does the same thing with the handguns. As you get better with each handgun, then that's your skilled level for handling the firearm. And as you work on your tactics and all this kind of stuff, your skill level will improve, because you're figuring out your tactics, you're figuring on scenarios, on what if this happened, what if this happened, and you have a more realistic idea on what you can do to counter this stuff. So it's the your skill level will improve as everything else improves. Now, if you say, well, I have no skill level, so that means I can't protect myself, that's a false thought. There's numerous times when, I don't want to pick on women, but a woman knows her husband's got a revolver in the house, and somebody breaks into the house and she's by herself, and in the struggle she's able to get her hands on that revolver, and she shoots the guy, shoots the attacker. Well, she's got no skill level at all. Yeah, I mean, the only thing is she knew where that gun was, and that's another reason why the revolver doesn't have a safety on it. So then she was able to get her hands on it and to shoot the attacker. And so even with no skill level, it works. But like I say, she was terrified through the whole thing, and you know, her life has changed now since and even if she shot and she missed the guy, you know, and what if she knows her husband's revolver's over there, she runs over there, she gets it to somebody in the house, she shoots, and the people run out. She wasn't really attacked. Her whole life will change anyway. And because, like I say, she just learned the value of a firearm. And even though she didn't really have to use it, she was kind of scared the guy away. She's got something to build on for her skill level. And that's what you need to do. That's why people... Now, I talk about... I mentioned on one of my videos one time that you don't need to practice. And the reason I said that is because just exactly like that revolver, and like I do with my I carry a semi-automatic. I don't practice shooting. I know how this thing shoots. I've already went out, I've practiced and practiced. I know how this gun works. So, and that's why you try to keep your firearms simple. So then now you can focus on your skills, focus on tactics, focus on your moral responsibility, focus on anything, your dress, the way you carry, focus on anything. But you don't need to focus anymore on the shooting of the firearm. That's why I mentioned that. But like I say, you do need to get out and, you know, get familiar with the firearm so you know what's going to happen. You know it's not going to have an accident. You know how it's going to work. And then you do it. But like I say, your skill level isn't going out and shooting at the target range. That is not a skill level. The skill level is all the other stuff put together. Your moral responsibility. Have all this stuff thought out. What are you going to do about it? You know, I mean, the shooting, okay, you get down, you know what I mean? And now after you get down, now what do you do? You know, do you exit the area? Look at the Las Vegas shooting. Everybody was running like a bunch of cattle, you know, stampeding, trying to get out. You know, I mean, but that's what happens when you don't have a plan, and you don't have the skills to back up your plan. So that's what I'm saying. And sometimes that's the way to do it. But you need to do it because of choice, not because of panic. So working on your skills is a big thing. Like I say, for me, I say Vietnam, owning businesses, having to defend my businesses, training SWAT teams, living in Central America, having to function down there, all these things. But like I say, you see, it was in levels. I couldn't just, if not having no experience at all, and then move down to Central America and do the stuff that I did down there, I couldn't do it. But because I went through all these other levels, that prepared me. And so then that's why I was able to do that. I mean, like I say, I drove down there. Not only when I was there I drive around, but from the United States I would drive down to the Panama on a motorcycle. I mean, so what I'm saying is you work your way up. Your skill levels will improve providing you do something. If you don't do anything but just watch TV and movies, your skill level isn't going to improve. So a skill level is just what it sounds. It's a skill. And a skill isn't something you look at a video and you've got a skill. You do it. And so work on your skill level. And your skill level will determine how far you can go when it comes time to use your concealed carry. And this was part of a series covering all aspects of concealed carry. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.